Well, joining us now in the studio is the author of Prince Andrew, Epstein, Maxwell and the Palace, Nigel Cawthorne. Nigel, thank you so much for making the time for us this afternoon. It seems like this is the story that will not go away.
Indeed, and there's going to be no end to this. This is only the first tranche of documents from this case that are coming out. We're expecting more coming out. And then, of course, there's still... Ghislaine Maxwell still has an appeal pending. So we have plenty of fun to come.
And what will the royal family be doing? What will King Charles be doing right now, faced with this yet back on the front pages of every newspaper?
Well, he's in a very difficult position. If you ever go to court in a criminal charge, it's the Crown versus you. And he is essentially the Crown. So he's in the position of being the chief legal authority in this country, and he's essentially, he could be seen as harbouring a criminal.
Now, Prince Andrew's lost his HRH, he's lost the status of a senior royal, he's lost all of the bells and whistles that go with that sort of position within the royal family, and yet I think a lot of people sort of raised an eyebrow when they saw him walking with the rest of the family on Christmas Day, still appearing to be sort of part of the inner circle, albeit without his HRH and without his senior duties. Could the royal family go further in distancing themselves?
Well, I think they have to, because he's kind of besmirching the whole of royalty. We know he denies everything. However, he had an opportunity to clear his name when Virginia Giuffre took a civil action against him in the United States, accusing him of sexual abuse. He could have gone to court, given his evidence and cleared his name. However, instead of that, he paid millions of pounds of his mother's money to her to make it go away.
Now, of course, this has provided a lot of ammunition for anti-monarchists among us, not least the group Republic, which I believe reported Prince Andrew to the police off the back of these latest revelations or accusations, claims, whatever you want to call them. What would ousting Prince Andrew from the royal family actually look like in practice? Essentially, what royal privileges does he still have?
Well, he has a very nice mansion in Windsor that he stays at, and he doesn't seem to do anything for a living, so he's OK. But the real problem here is Scotland Yard were investigating historic claims of rape by Russell Brand, which, again, he denies. But why aren't they investigating Prince Andrew when the same thing applies? We were told by Cressida Dick that the royals are no different from us, we should all be treated the same. But we're not. 3 times she refused to even investigate the allegations against Prince Andrew. We have a new chief constable now. Maybe he could take this forward.
You raised the settlement out of court, the fact that Prince Andrew did not take the opportunity to go to court himself and clear his name. To put across what he might say in response to that is a prince going to a court, sitting through those proceedings, might have been an embarrassment in and of itself, even if he was cleared. The way that the royal family often does things is behind closed doors, away from the public eye. Could it be that despite what this sort of settlement out of court looks like, he felt like it was the only course of action for him?
Well, indeed. The royal family are terrifically good at this thing. They kind of ignore things and hope they go away, and they usually do. With the former Prince Charles, there were allegations with cash for honours against him. All he had to do was sit it out. He became king. He can't be prosecuted under the criminal law. So he's fine. So maybe he kind of has sympathy with his brother in this case.
And tell me a little about how Prince Andrew might be reacting to what's going on now. Of course, this is the last thing he wants to see splashed across the newspapers, although he may have gotten used to it a little by now. What type of person will he be? Tell me.
Well, it's very difficult to get inside the minds of people who've been brought up in such privileged positions. When you think about it, from the time he could first walk and talk, people were bowing and scraping to him. He's protected behind palace walls. People are calling him Your Royal Highness. How are you going to view the world? You just think that you're above it all, and he's obviously finding that he's not.
It's interesting. This is something that has dragged on for some time now. What are the next big steps? What will Prince Andrew be preparing for in the months or indeed years to come?
Well, again, I think he just has to sit it out in Windsor. There's nothing he can do. Again, if he wanted to clear his name, it's not a new allegation, but in these court papers, there's the allegation that he touched a woman's breast without her permission. Now, the deadline of prosecution over that has gone. But he could sue her for libel, get himself in court and clear his name.
Well, this is the thing. Why is he not willing to do that and clear his name?
Yes.
Because, of course, innocent until proven guilty, but this reputational damage to himself, of course, but, of course, the wider royal family is very damaging indeed.